Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. It's Tuesday night, so it means it's Super Touring Car Championship time. And we're at round 7, Nürburgring. Sure, if you've not had enough of Nürburgring, with the car as the star, if you're keeping up with that. And now we're at Nürburgring, and the next 2 Fridays we're going to be at the Nürburgring. So, down that sauerkraut, people, we're here to stay. The Brits are about. So Stcc, sorry, round 7, Nürburgring sprint we're doing it at, the short track. We're going to have 10 minutes of qualifying pretty soon because I'm late. And then we're going to have a 16 lap sprint race and a 39 lap feature race. They have to use 2 compounds over the whole shebang, the two races. And oh, and there's no table. That's cool. It's just still from the round before, I think, the table. Yeah, no table for the Red Bull of Ring. So that's one less hassle for me to have to read out. I think there's an Excel problem. Computer says no. Is there anything else? No, I think I've told you everything. It's not a lot on the rules, but come on, it's round 7. And it's something I hate. I don't like repeating myself. So, yeah, we've got the Peugeots. They're doing really well. Matt Psycho and the Haas. They are super fast in those tight little pugs. Then we have Mrs. Guesty and Pat. They're both in the Mitsubishis. And they're having a fair season with them, I'd say. Madalinsky in the chat saying good evening thingy. Well, hello Madalinsky. Have you seen the recent Car is the Star? I don't suppose you have because you're racing, but when you get a chance, you should go and look at the newest update or the newest upload. So we're just about to start qualifying. He said good luck to everyone, and rightly so. We're 2 minutes past 8, and it's probably my fault we haven't started yet. So we've got Ensign Ewart, Baza and Kuikarp. They're all in Mazdas, and they're having a tight little battle. Ensign Ewart really trounced them though last time out. Oh no, Sharen's left the room as we're going to qualifying. What shenanigans is this? What has happened to the Russian sensation? So yeah, Ensign Ewart, Kuikarp, the Bazinator are all in a tie battle. Homesick Alien is smashing it at the moment. He's been getting some great results in, and against the Peugeots, doing very well. And Madalinsky saying, actually, I watched that. Pretty sure I saw the livery somewhere. At least now I know I made a good job with it. It's awesome, man. It's awesome. It caught my eye, and I thought I want to use that. So yes, Pat saying howdy. It's the start of a German week. It is sauerkraut all round, and big tumblers of beer. Guten Tag, mein friend. Friender. You can count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11's Elf. 12 was, I think it had something like a Zwanzig in it. No, that's 20 because it's 2. It was a long time when I learnt German. There's not a lot of it retained. But 12 was a different number as well, but I can't remember. And then they all start repeating themselves. Simple people, German. In their language, I mean. Very basic. Not a lot to it. They don't need to convey emotions or such things. They waste no time with 3 bits of language. Very much like the Klingon dialogue. Ach, nicht noch. That could be Klingon or German. You would never know. Unless you spoke German or Klingon. And then realise it was nothing. It was just me clearing my throat. There should never be delays. Delays are bad. When there's delays, random talk happens, and it's usually upsetting someone out there. Winter is coming, and I'm surrounded by snowflakes. Oh, what the bloody... Haase just wants to continue the pain and the misery. No, we've gone to qualify, and Haase looked out. He's not looked out, he's lost out. Haase, you're going to be at the back, bruv. You've got a big job. Come back, though. So they're filtering on their way out. We're sat on board with the Baz. And he does like to hang out with Ensign, who does like to go out last. And there's a game of dare here, chicken. It's a short track, lads. They'll be back around again. You got to watch that. And there you go. Baz, in the end, pulls the trigger of that gun. And we're out. I thought we were going to stay in car then. I thought, well, why not? We'll have a look at the short track. So, the first corner, as daunting and tight as the GP track, going up the hill, flicking it to the left, playing with that throttle control as we come up over the brow of the hill, down the hill, onto the brakes, very tight corner, second gear, and then burst it right to the apex of the next one, but can't really floor it yet. And then when you straighten her up, get down on that accelerator, and then this is where the track deviates from the GP track. Then we go a right-hander all the way around. There we go, tick those boxes, and then up to the left. That's what it's all about. Oh, the Nürburgring sprint. Didn't work. And then we're back onto the real track, or the GP track, should I say, over the slight right into the chicane, heavy on the brakes, chew up that apex, bang bang, aim for that apex, bang bang, and up and around to the final corner. And he's going to start his flying lap, but we've already got guys out there on flying laps. Looks like Homesick Alien has either tried to stay... Ooh, reset room. Ooh, wonder what is happening. So, oh, Mama Sykes is in the chat saying, evening everyone, hi there thingy, let's have a good evening. Oh, well, you are almost definitely sure it's going to be. I'm going to give them 2 minutes, or a minute, or 30 seconds, or enough time to get the lobby back up and running. I'll have a little sip of my hot brew. Let's have a look. What are other people doing then? These are all meant to be... Oh, no, they're not on my friends list. They're just randos. These are the people on my friends list. Oh, it's only us doing anything. And it's Homesick all on his own. Ah, lonely Homesick in a lobby all by himself. Sitting there wondering where everyone is. I'm actually wondering where everyone is. Why has no one gone back in it yet? Can they see it? Are they having a short tea break? I don't want to be the first. You know it's not cool to be the first to turn up to a party. Got to at least 2 or 3 in that room before I'm going in there.
Hello.
Harv's in the chat saying hello. Harv's is having wheel problems at the moment. It's making a clog, clog, clog sound. I reckon he's too heavy-handed. I don't know if that's just not updating. Where's the update thing? Room details. Update list. Oh, there you go, 10. They're probably waiting for me now. Oops. Here we go. Always make an entry. Kids, this is how you do it. Yoo-hoo! Hello! Oh, Haase, you look delightful today. And Matt Psycho, I must say, you are wearing the hell out of those jeans, my friend. Mrs. Guesty, as elegant as ever. Homesick Alien, looking hench. You've been down the gym, my lad, I can tell. Ensign, you are looking dandy. And Bazza, oh, you've combed. You have definitely combed that hair today, because it is looking sleek. Koikab, looking fine. And my friend, Pat, What? There is no words, Pat. You look fantastic, Scary Rambo. Always count on you to make a good showing. Snorlax, you're looking fine, my friend. And Madalinsky, thumbs up, dude. It's a brave choice, but you made it, and you're wearing it well. And there was another one. Shiren, I like the hat. Right then, there you go. Leave no stone unturned, kiddies. Make eye contact, strong handshake, and don't linger on the handshake. Just a quick three ups. 1, 2, 3, done. Release. Let them go. Don't hold on to their hand. They don't like that. You're not on a date. So Pat saying that number won't change unless you update the list. I know, Pat. I had a brain fart. And the Halfmeister saying, anyone want to buy a wheel? It's got a new feature. It makes noises like your gearbox crunching. So here we go again. We're having another go. We enjoyed that first outlap so much that we thought we'd do it again. Hopefully everyone can hang about this time, and the lobby can sustain its solidity. I've given up with that one. No, I haven't given up. Obviously, I can't give up. I can't let it go. So Homesick's out there. He's testing out the grip in that first corner, and there's little of it. And Matt Psycho keeping him company in the Peugeot. Psycho and the Alien having some great battles this season. Psycho having a great battles with Haza as well, and Homesick releasing the pug. Release the pug. That's what the Queen of England said. Release the pugs. So Matt Psycho, they're corgis. What am I talking about? She didn't have pugs. That was what Ethel had in EastEnders, wasn't it? That ugly looking dog she always had in her handbag. So Matt Psycho's out there. Homesick's out there. Haza also in the Peugeot in the Discord today, playing mind games, telling them all he's not done one lap of practice around this track, and he does not feel confident. I think he's still the championship leader though, so he can talk it down all he wants. We know what he's got in his box of tricks. Snorlax. He's a fighter, Snorlax. Every race he's there and thereabouts, but he's got the look of Jim. He carries the look of Jim. The curse of Jim, 66, is with Snorlax. It seems things just don't go right for him, either tyre wear or one thing or another. And Mama Homesick in the chat saying, evening thingy, all okay with you? All is fine and dandy, thank you. Mama Homesick, I hope you are well as well. It's getting cold, you know. We're into the birds, we're well into the birds now. Winter is definitely coming. And I think it's time to get the furs out. Get the bear skins out and start wrapping up. Maybe time to hibernate or something. So yeah, Snorlax in the Lexus. He's been there scrapping all season, but just doesn't seem to have the results coming his way because of one thing or another, one tyre wear or another tyre wear. So he'll be looking for a good quali. So Matt Psycho should be bringing it around now to claim pole, but for how long? Matt Psycho on pole. Homesick some 6/10 off. Haza takes pole by 2/10, and Snorlax takes third by 900ths from the Alien. Next up we've got we've got Mrs. Guesty, who's the red and white car. Was that Madalinsky? That's not red and white, is it? Oh wow, it must have just been the way the sun was hitting it. So Madalinsky's done a lap, 9/10 behind Mrs. Guess. He's all changed. Let's have a look. Haza's pole, Matt Psycho is second, Snorlax third, Homesick Alien is in fourth place, Bazza is fifth. Very good lap time from Bazza in that battle with Ensign and Coy. Oh, talk of the devil. Ensign, you are in fifth. 4 tenths off of the Alien. Baza then demoted down into 6th, with Koikarp in 7th. Those 3 Mazdas all in a little tight tug of a war between each other. Mrs. Guesty up there in 8th place, ahead of the other Mitsubishi in 9th. Then Madalinsky in the Lexus, ahead of Scary Rambo, who is the Harvey, for those who are in the who are in the know. Is 11th, and Shiren is yet to do a lap. Matt Psycho goes faster, but stays in 2nd, and Homesick Alien claims that 3rd back from Snorlax, who hasn't gone faster this lap. So Homesick Alien does claim 3rd. Then Ensign's very late, isn't he? We got it's Madalinsky probably next. So Madalinsky has gone faster and has pulled it 300ths into Mrs. Guesty, who did not go faster that time. Scary Rambo banging it in there. His wheel might be banging, and so are the lap times. So the halves with a damaged wheel still doing some swift times in the BMW. He's 3 tenths ahead of Mrs. Guesty, with Madalinsky in 10th. Oh, not quite. Whoa, your horse is there, thingy, because Pat's just arrived. Dan's gone faster. Big Dan has gone faster. He stays 5th, but he distances himself from Koikarp, who did a 27.5 last time around, versus the 27.0 that Ensignua is producing. Who was we looking at then? This is Pat, who's just put a lap in. Shiren then, he's on his first flyer. Well, we may as well wait around for it, hadn't we? Why not? See where this is. Oh, he's found traffic though, in the way of Harvey, the halves. Matt Psycho's gone faster, but still in 2nd place. And Haza with his signal, his signature move. He's gone as fast as he's going to go. He doesn't think he's going to go faster. He's parked it, and he's laying down the challenge to everyone else. Madalinsky moves up to 9th, ahead of the halves. And Shiren then, his lap was slightly compromised coming across the BMW the way he did. And it's not halves' fault. You don't have to yield in qualifying. You've got to look after your own lap. You should back off. So Shiren's on a 129. He's going to have to reset and do again as we run out of time. No, Haza has come out. Maybe he just wanted tyres. Yeah, Haza wanting a fresh set of tyres. He's taking it serious, ladies and gentlemen. He needs this pole. And Matt Psycho is a huge threat there. Only 1.5 tenths behind the Haas. And the pole shoot down has begun. Is Matt Psycho going to opt for a bit of fresh rubber? I don't think he'll have time. Willis Wadger. And, no, he's continuing on. Is this lap better? It is, and he has taken pole away from the Haas. Homesick and Snorlax both opt in to grab a little bit of wubber before the final run. Ensignua at 4 tenths. He's trying to find on Snorlax. Snorlax a further 4 tenths behind the Alien. For quite a short track, it's spaced out, isn't it? Time-wise, 5 tenths to Koikarp. Ooh, Ensign's found it. He's found the little time. Can he keep hold of it? He's got it in his back pocket. And he's very close to the finishing line. Shiren does go faster. He's done a 28. That's not going to cut the mustard. It only cuts it up to 8th place for Shiren. And we've seen Shiren battling for podiums this season. As Ensignua heads towards the line, Pat's gone across as well. And oh, where did it go? He lost it. It dropped out of his back pocket somewhere in that last sector. Half a second dropped by the Hewitt of Ensign's. Matt Psycho, meanwhile, flying high. Does he have time? I don't think he has time. He's just going to have to pray these soggy tyres make it all the way till the end of qualifying, because he's not got time to go and put a new set on. Does he go faster again? He cannot. Those tyres have probably cooked their goose. So what is Haas's answer to 1.1 and a bit of change tenths he is behind Matt Psycho right now? We'll find out very soon. He's coming up to the end of his lap as Homesick completing his out lap. Homesick's only going to get one shot with his new tyres, as is Snorlax. And here comes Haza. He gets another lap after this one. Oh dear, he's taken pole. He's taken pole, and we don't think Matt Psycho's got the Hadesian there in the tyres to make it count. Homesick Alien then having his one shot along with Snorlax. And Ensign Ewer is continuing on. It looks like he's slowed down this lap though, so he's not going for anything spectacular at the moment. Homesick Alien is the man. He's got to find half a second to try and get ahead of Matt Psycho. We don't think Matt Psycho's in a position to strike back. And Mama Sykes saying, blow it. Oh no, Homesick Alien's lost the back end coming out of the chicane, and that's his chance cooked. And then we have Snorlax. Has he managed to produce something? He needs to find half a second almost on Homesick Alien. But can he bang it up into thirds? Ensign Ewer ahead of Koikarp, who's ahead of the Baz, who's ahead of Shiren. Shiren's not managed to get something out of this qualifying so far. And Snorlax then, oh no, it's a lag. It's a lag spike. I thought it was an off, but it might be a bit sloppy. Who knows? Haza's pole, and we don't think Matt Psycho's got the rubber to come back on that. We're watching Snorlax because he made a stop just before the end, but it's not enough. And Snorlax does not go faster. It's Haza from Matt Psycho to Homesick Alien. No, he's done. Snorlax in fourth. Ensign Ewart. Oh, Shiren always saves the best for last, as pops it in there in fifth ahead of Ensign. Ensign's on a run, but I think we saw him going very slowly earlier. Pat's got a last minute dash in as well, but it's Ensign crossing the line in sixth. Koikarp seventh. Then we've got the Bazza in eighth. Mrs. Guesty in ninth. Pat getting 10th there from Madalinsky, whom has gone into the pits, and the halves is starting in 12th. What happened to Star? Oh, Silver Star? Matt Sykes saying nice lap, Haza. Gentlemanly from Matt Psycho. But I think if I remember rightly, last round, Haza may have... Did he put it on pole? I think he did, and I think Matt Psycho went ahead and took the win in the sprint. So, Matt Psycho will be aiming for something similar, but the problem is Haza always seems to keep finishing behind him. And he needs bigger points from the last time I saw the table. So Haza then pole, Matt Psycho in second alongside him, Homesick Alien starting in third with Snorlax for company. Then we have Shiren in fifth alongside Ensign Ewart in sixth. The Mazdas, then a pair of Mazdas, Koikarp and the Baz alongside each other. Mrs. Guesty and Pat duking it out in the Mitsubishis in 9th and 10th. Madalinsky and Scary Rambo hosting that back row. And it's time to reflect and ponder. That was a really good lap, wasn't it? 200s though, 200s, barely naff all. So we'll have a look at those results as they pick their tyres for what they want to start on. And there we go, Haza with a phenomenal lap to take pole, and Mad Psycho very close, 200ths of a second off. Homesick Alien nearly half a second off in the Genesis, with the Lexus of Snorlax in fourth. Shiren starting in fifth, late bloomer there, coming into qualifying right there at the dead, coming up and getting fifth place from Ensign Ewer, who now starts sixth. Then we've got a whole host of Mazdas. We've got Ensign, Koi and the Baz starting 6th, 7th and 8th. Mrs. Guesty in 9th, ahead of Pat. And they're both in Mitsubishis. Madalinsky starting in 11th in the Lexus, and the halves 12th in the BMW. That's right, we've not missed nothing yet. Now things are starting to cook. I think I said 16 laps. It is 16 laps. It says it at the top of the screen. Foolish. So the race is now starting. And I'll get to spectate. I forgot for a second. Look at that. And the lights have not even started yet. So, oh yeah, it's a reverse grid. Sorry, I should have mentioned. So for the sprint, it's a reverse grid of what they qualified for. So Scary Halves is starting on pole. There we go. I've totally forgot all about that. So the Halfmeister, ooh, and Mrs. Guesty having a little look in between the two, the Mitsubishi and the Lexus, and Pat comes down late on the brakes. Can he make the corner? No, he's hit 2 cones out of the 3, but it's all right because Bazza got another cone. Great stuff. And the halves still in lead with Pat in 2nd, Madalinsky in 3rd, and Mrs. Guesty in 4th. But we've got a Koikarp coming in on the inside of Mrs. Guesty, and Koikarp gets that position 4th, and he's looking eager in his Mazda. And Guesty then into 6th with Sharon in 6th, Mrs. Guesty in 5th. Ooh, Mrs. Guesty on a move from Madalinsky. She's going to go for the inside there and come alongside, but she's got the outside of the corner now, and Madalinsky keeps the place, and Sharon has a sneaky one in, and Mrs. Guesty at the moment in the crowd and being slightly smothered there. It's tough to keep the race going when you're being surrounded. The Halfmeister, he's got to pull out some time, and he's doing it right now in the BMW. He's got to race true. He's got to drive for every apex, keep her under control, my friend. That's the way. That is the way of the halves. And Pat in the Mitsubishi coming through like an absolute stag at the beginning of the race. And he's found himself in 2nd, but the very swift Mazda is coming up behind him now. Madalinsky has got the BMW for company, and the BMW looks poised to strike in the braking zone, but there's not much room on the outside, and Madalinsky positioning his car expertly, but Sharen's coming back around the outside, and Sharen just cannot find the room. Koikarp's got the move done on Pat, and that's Koi up and into 2nd. The halves has already built up 2.5. Harvey is driving it like he stole it. Well done. And Koikarp, though, set in chase as Pat in 3rd, and Sharen does get the move done, and we missed it, sorry, on Madalinsky there. And Snorlax up the inside of Mrs. Guesty, who's now found her pace there in the pack, as Homesick Alien in 8th, Matt Psycho in 9th, Ensign Ewart slipping back into 10th with the Baz 11th, and the Haza, wow, nearly 5 seconds off. He's had a rough start. So Harvey then trying to keep Koikarp at bay. 16 laps, that's a lot of pressure. And Pat there, he's got Sharen closing in the BMW, but Sharen a little unsure, and that gives Madalinsky a great chance to come leaps and bounds up towards, but Snorlax around the outside of Madalinsky. Snorlax is on fire, and the Lexus is coming through, ladies and gents. Wow. And Sharen trying to break the toe of Snorlax. Snorlax is looking to get the braking done around the outside in the Lexus, and he doesn't quite get there, but the BMW's a bit wonky, and the BMW has to fight to survive, and Madeline's getting the BMW again. He's sideways, and I think he's been wiped out by half the field there, probably trying to avoid him, but when there's a big blue and turquoise BMW sideways across the track, it's hard to avoid. So the halves 2.2 seconds ahead of Koi, with Pat in 3rd, Snorlax now in 4th, setting chase for the Pat, with Madalinsky in 5th, and Ensign Ewart, wasn't he in 10th earlier? My gosh, he's up into 6th now, and Ensign Ewart waiting for the race to get underway before he decides to get underway. And He's 6th place at the moment, going faster, hunting the Polish pilot ahead. Snorlax moves up ahead of Pat, but for how long? Because Pat's coming back and he's got the inside. It's going to be a battle of balls, and Pat's got the finest pair of us all as he smashes it through the chicane there, and Snorlax thought better of that and thought, no, we've got 16 laps. I don't want to go out on lap 3. Madalinsky then has got a rear view mirror full of Big Dan, and Homesick Alien poised behind those guys as well to make his presence felt. So in the chats then, we've got Kalen saying, let's go VRC, and Mama Sykes saying, come on the mat. I don't know where he is at the minute, actually. I'll go and have a look in a second. Oh, Homesick being caught out by Ensign's heavy braking there, and Ensign just wants to slow down for the corner. Obviously the Hyundai can get through it a lot quicker. The Baz is in 7th. There is Matt Psycho. No, oh, yellow flags up ahead. Who are we talking here? They've already gone past. Oh my god, it's Snorlax. The look of the gym. This is what I've spoke about. The look. Oh, he's side by side with Pat. He's touched the dirt a little bit, and oh, in the braking, 2 wheels on the mud. Does not go, my friend. Oh, bless him, bless him. It's a race of attrition. Koikarp is now leading from the halves. Oh, the halves has picked up some damage there, and Koikarp now, he knows how to win a race. And Koikarp, he'll be just pacing himself and hoping the rest of the field struggle to get by. And Homesick already up ahead of Ensign Ewer, who's got Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho from nowhere has suddenly come alive in this race. He's there knocking on the door, and Homesick already going. No, is that Pat? And no, it's Homesick on Pat. Pat having a very, he's on the medium tyres. Here we go. So that's a cracking start for Pat, and even if he free falls from here, it's good on the mediums. He's got him out of the way before the feature race. Matt Psycho, he's on the softs. He's got his way past Ensign Baza, and here comes Haza as well. The other Peugeot is tasty, and he's looking for action. Sat on board with the Haas. He's ahead of Shiren and Madalinsky, and he's got a whole bunch of cars he wants to get by here, and Pat's gone wide. Oh, and that gives Haza 7th. Everyone moves up a spot. Homesick now in a 3rd place position as Haza now gets a good run on the Mazda coming down, and the Mazda's going to turn on him. No, Baza giving him all the space that he needs, and it's all the braking into this corner. It's going to be, no, he's already ahead, Haza. I thought they were going to be side by side there, but Haza already up and into 6th. So Ensign Ewer down in 5th. Matt Psycho is chasing the Alien. We've seen a good duke out between these guys before. The Halfmeister is lap 6, is still holding ground. Great lap times from Harvey, and he's just got to keep on it and minimise the mistakes, keep the lap times consistent. They don't have to be qualifying laps, they just have to string a few nice laps together. And Koikarp, though, leading this race, going faster than he's gone, at 27.333. And the halves 28.7 last time around. Homesick, though, 26.8. And this is the serious stuff coming this way, with Matt Psycho ahead of the Haas. The Haas already doing away with the Mazda of Ensign Ewer. And Ensign Ewer knows his battle's not with Peugeots today. His battle's with Mazdas. And he's got to keep that Baz behind. Baz has had some strong outings here in the Mazda. And we've got Shiren there in the background. We know that Beamer's got a bit of pace about it, but Shiren has been unable to unlock it so far. Miss Skesty in 10th place, and 1.1 seconds ahead of the medium-cladded Madalinsky, and Snorlax is coming fast towards them. Meanwhile, Koikarp crosses the line to start lap 7, and it's starting to look closer up here, with Scary Rambo seeing that he has only got Homesick Alien and 6/10 distance as the Alien drives the pants off that Hyundai, sorry. I forgot they changed their name. And the halves then clinging on to the track in that BMW, and the Homesick Alien waits and no more. No, he still can't complete as Scary Rambo stays on the apex, and that's the way. This is the way a Homesick Alien gets through, and the halves as a squirrel on the accelerator, but he's coming back out of the pug, but he can't get the move. Oh, that BMW is lively, isn't it? And the Peugeot's ganging up on the BMW now, and the Beamer is very lively on its rear axles. And the halves, we've seen Shiren. Oh, he's just got out of the way. He doesn't want to deal with that. Doesn't want to deal with that nightmare. And woohoo, almost from Ensign Ewer there collecting the halves. And the halves there just wants to reset and get his head back in gear. That back end was just slipping in every corner, and he needs to whoa his pony down a little bit. Get the Beamer back under control. I think it's a Beamer thing. It's got a loose back end. So Koikart then, especially under acceleration. Koikart's leading for 2.8 seconds from Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien did a 27.2 last time out. Koikart doing a 27.8. And we've got 8 laps to go. And there's going to be some hunting going on. Matt Psycho 2 seconds adrift of the Alien. And he's got Haza for close company, 7/10. Ensign Ewer in 5th, looking good. He's got some cars between himself and the halves. Shiren, himself and the Baz. But Koikarp's there picking up some big points at the moment in the Mazda. Shiren and Baza duking it out beautifully here. The Baza retaking the spot away from Shiren. And Shiren just trying to keep that Beamer pointing the right way, it seems. The Beamer very lively, as I've already said. And he's catching up with the other Beamer. And so Shiren then looking to close in on his fellow BMW driver, who's just kicked up a bit of dust there as he tries to fight that BMW back under some sort of control. And Shiren closing in, and Baza, that's a couple of positions. He's the last Mazda runner. He will not like that. And Snorlax has got past all of the guys and girls. So Madalinsky, he's on the medium tyres. I think other than Pat, he is one of the only ones on those mediums. So Pat also on the mediums. Tough break for these guys. I don't think they know what people are going to start the race on. So it's a gamble. Mrs. Guesty in 10th at the moment, but tyre wear does not look like it's going to be an issue here. Snorlax catching up with the Baz, and Shiren now is closing in on the other BMW. The other BMW getting onto the curbs a little bit there, and he's giving way to Shiren. 3.5 seconds battle on for Ensign Ewert's. Tyre wear is better in Shiren's camp than it is in Ensign's. Let's have a look up the front end. Oh, it's less than a second between Koikarp and Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien delivering some absolute corkers, bangers of lap times, and getting purples again as he chases down Koi, whose front tyres are slowly eking away from him. The two Peugeots, line astern, doing a super job as well, battling it out, and Haza looking like he wanted to close the gap there on Matt Psycho, but Matt Psycho, who also squirreled out the corner, he was on the accelerator, and Haza's gone for a gap. And they say, if you don't go for the gap, are you a racer? And Haza most definitely is a racer. And look at them, the glorious Peugeots coming down the straight, both of them as sexy as each other. And in the braking zone, Matt trying the impossible around the outside. He's got a good run on the inside. Oh, no. Sorry, perspective was all different. Homesick then only half a second off of Koi. And Homesick will be wanting to put a car between himself and the very speedy Peugeots. And in the chat, Mama Homesick saying, come on, son. And if you don't know who Mama Homesick's son is, it's Homesick. So there we go. Ooh. Hot brew. I bet that's just about right now. Yeah, kicked it. Look at that. Downed it in one. Lush, man. I've even got a frothy moustache. That's what she said. So Homesick Alien then side by side into the chicane. Ooh, look at that. They both make it through. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Lovely, lovely touring car action that we're seeing there. And Homesick has to defend a little bit. Coming out of the corner has the Mazda Rothmans got the run. Coy in the tow. Coming down to the first corner. Homesick Alien defending slightly. Coy Carp going for the outside. Homesick covering on the inside. And Homesick is okay. Coy might have gone a little wide there. And he's found two Peugeots come battering their way through. And Haza then up into second. And Homesick, that's not what he wanted. He needed the Coy to be a wall. He wanted a wall of Coy Carp between himself and the Peugeots, and Haza has really come to life, hasn't he? Lap 11 of 16, and this race is tough to call. Coy Carp then in fourth spot, 6 seconds ahead of Ensign Newer, who's 3 seconds ahead of Shiren. Shiren not catching the Ensign as quickly as we thought he possibly could do, and Shiren there just breathing in Ensign Newer's dirty air. Snorlax making his way up like an absolute beast through the pack, and he's back up into 7th spot at the moment. The halves in 8th, ahead of Mrs. Guesty, who's only 1.6 seconds, and we've seen the Harvey struggling with the back end of that BMW, and if he's not careful, Mrs. Guesty will be knocking on the door. Pat's dropped behind Mrs. Guesty as well. She was behind Pat. So Mrs. Guesty having an absolute cracker racer at the moment. Those medium tyres not helpful, and Bazza for some reason has come down here to play with these guys. Oh, a 36.6 on lap 9 is not what the Baz was hoping for, and now he's fighting with the two medium runners, and his tyres are not getting any better, and that is possibly why he's struggling to get by the Mitsubishi. And Pat just widening the Mitsubishi a little bit there, making life difficult for the Baz. The Baz is going to try and do it around the outside. Homesick Aliens leading from Haza, and Pat holds his ground against the Baz. Right, something's just moved. I'm sure it has. No, everything is as it was. We're all right. We're not missing anything. Homesick, though, is under threat now from the Peugeots. And Haza really looking for the gap, and we've seen Haza, if he sees a sliver of the gap, then he will go for it. Mama Sykes in the chat saying foot down, son. No, foot down, Matt, sorry. And Haza then just 7/10 ahead of Matt Psycho. Oh no, that's move, sorry, thought that might be look back. On board with Matt Psycho, that's what he can see. He's hoping the Alien and Haza get really into it here. Haza's going for another move, but Homesick Alien braking just a little bit later than the Haas, but he can't get on the accelerator as quick, and this is where he's on the back foot having to defend, and the Haza on full on attack, and he's made it. He's made the inside there. Oh, he's slowing down though, so I don't know how much of a bump it was. It did seem like the Alien went off to the side a little bit there. Very strange, and it looked like Haza had to lift off, and that's what we were talking about. Matt Psycho was hoping for some sort of shenanigans to get himself back in, and he's up and into second place now as Haza tries to work out what the hell happened. Alien just sort of bounced off his car, didn't he? So the two Peugeots, I didn't know they made them double length, double width. And there we go, it's like a Peugeot in my sidecar. And it's a Matt Psycho at the moment, but Haza is absolutely on fire. He's like a cat on a hot roof. He can't stay still. Two cars through the chicane together. Unbelievable stuff, and Haza makes the pass, possible, and Homesick Aliens built out 1.5 seconds whilst the Pugs duke it out. Great stuff. Right then, let's see if we can have a quick look at what may have happened to Homesick Alien there. So he's got the inside, he slides out. I think it was a half wiggle and a half hit from Haza there. I think it was something in nothing. Let's get back to this race then. So Homesick 1.6 seconds ahead of Haza. Haza's got back ahead of Matt Psycho, I apologise. I think we might have seen it, I'm not sure. It's full of stuff, this race, it's hard to tell. Kuykart then still holding 5-6 seconds ahead of Ensign. Ensign's tyres starting to go. We've got 2 more laps to go, 3 really, if you count this one. And Shiren, he's looked after those tyres lovely. And he is all over Ensign Newer, whose tyres are pretty much looking like they're getting ready for the scrap heap. And Shiren is hassling him all the way. He's got Remove here on the inside, and he nearly gets it. Oh, and Shiren, he's stuck it in there. He's decided to go with it, though he may have given it back. So there was a little bit of contact into the corner, but Shiren stuck with it and hoped for... Well, Shiren can't lift because he's got Snorlax closing in as well. So Shiren's just got to keep that perpetual motion going forwards. Homesick Alien then 9/10 ahead of Haza as he starts lap 15, 2 laps to go. And Homesick Alien has a massive job to do, and he needs Matt Psycho to get back into the fight with the Haas. And the tyres are virtually the same between the 2 Peugeots. Homesick Alien's tyres, look, I'd say is in better condition than the Peugeots, but look how Haza can close in on the corners. That Peugeot does feel absolutely flawed in the corners. It's just absolutely cracking handling. I think that's the mid-engine for you. Gives it a lovely feeling in the corners. Good centre of gravity, or rear engine, whatever it is. I think it's a mid-engine. Kuykart, his tyres are going, and he is losing time to Shiren. Can he survive in that 4th place as Shiren starts closing the gap on Kuykart? Ensign Newart's tyres pretty much shot, and he's got Snorlax heading his way, but Snorlax also having tyre woes himself. The halves has scrambled up into 8th. He dropped further back than that, I'm sure. So the halves, it's not bad. It's not bad for him. I know he started on pole. He held that lead for about 6 laps. And then the BMW got very squirrely. And he slipped back, but he's held ground in 8th. There again, look, the Beamer, such a handful. Mrs. Guesty, tyre wear's good, you know. 28.2 last time around. 29.5 from the Beamer. And Harvey might have an absolute battle on for his hands for this 8th place on the final lap. 1:30 for both of them. Both of them do a 1:30 there. So, yes. Bazza has fought his way away from the medium runners, and Madalinsky has got himself ahead of the Patster. But them two are using their medium tyres, so here we go. Haza's in the lead. I am so sorry. I was trying to look at the field, and Haza has got himself past the Homesick Alien. Unbelievable stuff. We watched them for so long. We stuck with them. Well, I couldn't watch them forever. I have to look at other people. And then he waits. And Matt Psycho, he's seen what Haza has done and wishes to do the same to the Alien. And the Homesick Alien is just clinging on. It's only one more corner, so he might get it. Haza then comes around to take the win from last place. He got pole, didn't he? So from last place, 2nd place for Homesick Alien, and Matt Psycho, take a boo, my son, in 3rd. Kuykart keeps that 4th. Shiren not managing to be able to close in, and Shiren grabs 5th with Ensign Newer in 6th. Snorlax finishing in 7th, right up his chuff. And the halves, he looks like he's going to survive. Mrs. Guesty just hasn't got the grip to come out the Halfmeister, and a great 8th place for Harvey. And Mrs. Guesty in 9th with the Baz. The Mazda wounded comes home in 10th place ahead of the medium running Madalinsky, who is tactical, you know. Tactical. He doesn't have to use the medium tyres in the feature race. That might come in handy. So Madalinsky crossing the line, takes 11th place, and Pat, the nightmare is over, my friend. Comes home in 12th. Mama Sykes saying, great racing, guys. Wasn't it just? Wasn't it just? Great racing. So there we go. We've seen his Butsky more than enough times this season, and it gets finer every time. Well done, Haza. Cracking drive. So let's have a look at those results. Haza takes a win. Didn't look like it was going to happen at one point, though. It looked like the alien had it tied up. And then when we cut away, they decided to race each other. So the Haza takes the win. Homesick in 2nd, taking points away from Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho, yeah, I don't know who he's more annoyed with. Homesick for taking points away or Haza for getting the win. Who knows? But Matt Psycho fighting every step of the way in this championship, but Haza is making it very difficult for him. Koikarp, that's a whole batch of points that Koikarp's going to be very pleased with, especially against the Baz and Ensenua. And Koikarp 4th. Sharen, what an absolute fight back twice, up to 5th place in the BMW. Ensenua 6th place, solid as always, nice and consistent. The tyres were his enemy at the end. And Snorlax in 7th, man alive, is luck. He will get luck at some point, we think. He should do. The halves 8th, he slipped back with that one rough lap, but never any further. He went this far and no further, and had a great drive to get himself some banging points. 9th for Mrs. Guesty, and she had to fight all the way for every single position, and got a good one in the end. 10th for Bazza, don't know what happened to him, just disappeared. He had one bad lap. Then Madalinsky in 11th and Pat in 12th. They've used their medium tyres. It looks a little soggy. So I'm sure we're going to get a break. He's changed the room settings. Mrs. Guesty is up and out. And Koikarp saying my highest finish in this league, I think. Well done, my friend. Harvey saying track is horrible. And Harvey also saying, what happened on the first corner? I had a few laps ahead for once. No, man. That was just your racing. It was cracking. Oh, right. Less than 10 minutes. He's being tight. He's got stuff to do. So let's go to the track. Let's find a Muppet for you to watch. Yeah, sorry, Quick Up. You're not a Muppet. We're going to find someone to... I meant to say Sim Racer for you to watch. We'll get rid of the name. Is it raining then? The wipers aren't going, so I don't think it is. I'll try and return as quickly as I can.
Spent too much of that race sliding the back end. Couldn't get the pace on the mediums. Once the floodgates opened, I couldn't do much about.
think they're waiting for me. Hello, everyone. Pat in the chat. Pat chat. He says, spent too much of that race sliding the back end. Couldn't get the pace on the mediums. Once the floodgates opened, I couldn't do much about it. Oh, well. So this one's going to be, this one's going to be the long one. So if you need to go and empty thy bladders, this should be the time to do it, because we are running out of time. Who said that? I'm not privy to radars. I believe it's random weather, and Germany can sometimes get a little bit damp. That's what she said. Snorlax then, he went side by side with... Get it out your system now, lad, that's the way. Get it out of the system. Haza, thingy, Matt is pole. I mess up quali out too much. Okay, cut too much, cut too many corners. So, looks like without any stewards in, I'm going to put stewards in if they put Matt on pole. Say, look, this has to be investigated. Can't reshuffle the grid. Could you imagine Max Verstappen turning around and saying, "I'll give it to..." You get a point for pole. You're giving up a point. Fair enough. What a gentleman. He's that confident. The mind games continue. Matt Psycho gains a point. Back step for the race. It's probably the dirty side of the track now. It's been great. I'll tell you what, this season I'm going to start campaigning for season 2 before the season's even out. I've really enjoyed it. It really is. I was a fan of the British touring cars during the 90s, and the racing is so frantic and so close. I mean, in season 2, maybe there is one or two cars they could nerf, I'd say. One at least I could think of, a manufacturer. But it's been door banging, high adrenaline, drama inducing, thrilling championship. It really has so far. I mean, we're not even over yet. We've still got 3 rounds after this one. So, but the racing has been absolutely top notch, top draw from everyone. Well done to everyone who's taken part, who has taken part. I haven't seen Jokers for a round or two. I miss you, Jokers. I don't know what the crack is, but come on. Come race. Silver Star. I don't know what happened to Silver Star. He bought a new wheel, bought a new cockpit, and doesn't want to use it. I don't know who else. Don't know who else is not here. That puts it up to 14, doesn't it? So there's one more. One more I'm not picking on. I think it might be electric. I don't know. So everyone's ahring up. I don't know Snorlax well enough to make assumptions of why he is doing the why. All I can think of is he a minion of Skyjacker? Or is there some connection there between Snorlax and Skyjacker? One can wonder. One can always wonder. I like how Bazza and Ensign and the rest have all gone R's. So Shiren practicing the mediums. Yeah, most of the field have got to use mediums, apart from two drivers out there. The Polish pilot of Madalinsky, and here we go, the grid with Matt Psycho now promoted to pole position, with Haza saying he cut too many corners. And the light man just arriving at the switch now. He's getting his finger ready. There he goes. 5 lights. Racing is resumed, sorry. So Matt Psycho leaps from pole with Haza setting chase, and it's looking muggy out there. We'd call that muggy up north. It's muggy today. So, it's going to be cold. The track's going to be cold. There's no grip. Matt Psycho opting to start on the softs, as has Haza. Snorlax in third. Snorlax having a little bump. Where is Homesick? Homesick slipped down to fifth. I'm sure he started third. And Snorlax having a great start there in the Lexus. And so is Shiren in the BMW. Homesick Alien slipping back in the Hyundai. I believe they're all on soft tyres. Koikart, first medium runner, is sixth with the Baz on softs just tucked up behind him. And Ensign Newitt there, he's on the softs. Pat doesn't need to use mediums. He's using his second compound now. He's in ninth with Madalinsky also on the softs. He's in 10th with the halves on the mediums, fighting it. As Madalinsky kicks up a bit of dust there, but goes for a move. So maybe it was Pat that kicked up a bit of dust, because Madalinsky on the move there against Pat. And Halves has joined them. Whoa, Halves is really in there. My God, I can't think what buttons to press. Trying to keep the rest of the BMW after making an almighty move. And so does Mrs. Guesty implies herself into the fight. And Madalinsky and Pat battling each other has given the Halves and the rest a chance to get into the battle. My God, Madalinsky, Mrs. Guesty, Pat and the Harvey on medium tyres in that battle, and Pat there, has he outbraked himself a little bit? He has, and Halves carries on in ninth place, but Pat's back on the track now with Mrs. Guesty tucked up behind and Madalinsky right there as well. I want to go and watch to see if there's any other fighting. Matt Psycho's pulling away from Haza at the moment. Snorlax staying with the fight in the Lexuses. Shiren unable to stay with Snorlax at the moment, with Homesick Alien tucked up behind Shiren, and Koikap on the mediums doing an absolutely mega job, a stellar job in sixth place, staying with Homesick and Shiren on the medium tyres. Bazza in the other Mazda. It's 3 Mazdas in a row. Koikap, Bazza and Ensign Newitt all battling it out there with the halves ahead of Pat. Madalinsky now up into 11th, and Mrs. Guesty set to make a move on those soft tyres, but Madalinsky making the Lexus as wide as he possibly can, making Mrs. Guesty go the long way around. And Madalinsky then cuts into the final chicane. Mrs. Guesty in 12th place. So Matt Psycho crosses the line in the lead with Haza in second, Snorlax in third, all covered by 2.2 seconds between the top three. Shiren a further 3 seconds behind, and he looks like he's in trouble from the Alien. Homesick Alien ready to make some moves. Now the sun does look like it's shining. There is definitely shadows being cast, so the sun has come out. And that muggy look seems to have dissipated. It's still grey, very grey in the background. I wouldn't count my chickens here at Germany, but for now the sun is on the track. That means the warmth will be starting to hit that tarmac, and these guys can start enjoying a bit of grip, which there seems to be lacking, as now Shiren and Homesick pulling away from the medium cladded Koikap, with Ensign Newitt ahead of the Baz slipping back a place. Pat now is ahead of the halves. And it must be the track's getting warmer. These softer tyres starting to come alive. They're lighting up now. The soft tyres starting to come into their own, and the halves is paying the price there, whereas before he was holding his own with these guys. And I think now the sun is on the track's getting warmer, and the soft tyres are starting to do their thing. Haza pulls out the fastest lap of the race. He's closing in on Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho, all he can do is sit in the middle of the road and just hope he's got enough juice to pull out of the corner before the Haza is upon him. Haza is a formidable driver, and he's going to give Matt Psycho a real race here. Matt Psycho's going to have to pull out all the stops, but this is what makes us better. This is what fine-tunes perfection, is pressure. Pressure makes diamonds, as they say. At the moment, Matt Psycho is being turned into a right diamond by the pressure of the Haas. Again, on the back right on the back of the Peugeot. Haza getting a good tow. Looking to make a move in the chicane. We see these guys going side by side before through the chicane, but Haza decides not yet. He knows I'm just about to pull away to see what other racing's around, so he's going to make the move. Oh, a bit late there on Matt Psycho, and he releases Matt Psycho and lets him get on his way. Snorlax 2.4 seconds behind them, with Homesick Alien getting by the Russian sensation, and Shiren might be in trouble here. That loosey-goosey BMW getting him into trouble again as Ensign Newark closes in the solid Mazda. And he looks like he's going to get the move done up the inside. Shiren tries to make the car wider, but it might be a little too late. And no, Shiren survives. But again, that BMW getting on the accelerator is a big struggle for him. And Ensign Newark is right there knocking on the door. And Shiren looks a little wide there. And Ensign has to readjust himself to try and go around the outside and get up the inside, but he can't quite get it. And my gosh, what great racing we are seeing here between Shiren and Ensign Newark. Koikart's just behind them, guys. To remember, he's on the medium tyres and he's under threat from the Baz. The medium tyres were holding together quite nicely whilst the clouds were out and it was very cold. But now the sun is totally out now and the soft tyres are starting to come to life, or they've come to life, should I say. And the Bazza, it looks like it's going to be a short time and he's going to be by. Koikart just grip alone, whoosh up the inside there, leading up to the final chicane. And Koikart not enjoying the grip that the Baz has to get through the chicane, and the Baz gets the job done up into 7th, but he also has to use those medium tyres at some point. Mama Sai saying go Matt, and Mama Sai's also saying she loves these races. Matt Psycho's still holding on 7/10 from the Haas, and it's a long race, 39 laps these guys have got to go. Punishing, grueling laps, 39 grueling laps. I haven't really heard much positive about the track. I don't think that many people. Matt Psycho has definitely been very negative about the track and his feelings of the track. So yeah, there's a few unhappy campers out there, not happy with the track, don't like it at all. And Hazel was one of them as well. He says it's not one of his favourite tracks. So they're all driving upstream, as to say, as they're not on a comfortable track for themselves. Snorlax, silent but deadly. He doesn't say anything. I never ever noticed Snorlax making much comments in the Discord. He's a quiet one. Keeps his head down, cracks on, and that's what he's doing right now in 3rd spot. 8 seconds. 8 seconds, I repeat that, ahead of the Alien. That's the time they've built up whilst Homesick Alien was fighting the Shiren. Ensign Newark does do the job on Shiren. Shiren's on medium tyres. There you go. That's why Shiren's suddenly getting a struggle on. Surely it's just a token gesture to use them. And as you're falling down the grid, it'd be best to just get rid of them and do your pit stop. I suppose they've got to worry about fuel and getting themselves to where they've got to get to. So Matt Psycho and Haza back at it again. And Matt Psycho pushing it with the track limits there, but he's fighting. And I know the stewards do take all conditions into account. If people are under pressure, they know it's you can be bob on with your braking as long as it's not a blatant one just to get away from them. And that didn't look like one. That looked like Matt Psycho was just driving with every inch he had in him. So Matt Psycho at the moment half a second ahead of the Haas. Snorlax 3 seconds adrift now. He just can't live with the Peugeot's pace, but he's got 8 seconds under his pillow, waiting for the Tooth Fairy to come and collect. And Ensign Ewart at the moment, solid job. Ensign really has got on top of the Mazda, hasn't he? Midway through the season, I don't remember Ensign having a lively first half of the season, but the last couple of races we've seen Ensign Ewart really take that Mazda, because I think Bazza's the one that's leading in the championship. I can check that from Red Bull, from before Red Bull. But yeah, I think it was the Baz that was in charge in the table. But Ensign Ewart had a crack at Red Bull Ring, if I remember rightly. And again, he's looking like he's having another corker right here at Germany. No, I apologise. It is Ensign Ewart. He must be having a good season. Ensign Ewart was ahead of Bazza and Kuykart. So Ensign Ewart's having a cracking season. Not halfway through, but all the way through. And he's owning the little Mazda battle we're having out there. Shiren under pressure from Bazza now. Bazza keeps coming across these medium-clad tyres, and he is Bazza the Destroyer of... Ooh, give Shiren a little love pump there, a little love kiss, and it looks like it pushed Shiren closer to Ensign, so he'll have to thank him later. Not Ensign, Shiren, I mean. So the Baz chasing him down. He's on them soft tyres. Kuykart there. He's on the mediums, doing a great job keeping pace with the guys ahead. Madalinsky on them softs. He's 6 seconds behind Kuykart, 2.4 seconds ahead of Mrs. Guesty, who's ahead of Pat. Pat was ahead of that battle earlier, and the halves has pitted. He's put the softs on. He has thought, sod those medium tyres, they're useless, and has changed. I'd be very tempted to change them. Some of these guys sticking with them, which is interesting. And Matt Psycho still leads this race, lap 9 of 39, and these Peugeots are absolutely driving on the edge right now. They are, both of them, giving it great big balls, pair of them, pushing to the absolute limits of the car. You can see by the lap times, all low 26s, and Haza as well, low 26s, low to mid 26s, but he's got that 25.3, you know, he's capable of that 25.3, and Cycle will be extremely aware of that. 25.9s now, they dropped to the, oh yeah, no, they're still in low 26s. Both dropped into the 25s as the fuel tanks lighten off. And Snorlax 27.5 last time around. Is that the tyres starting to give him jip, or was it just a blip on his so far fantastic race? Even Homesick Alien dropping a bit of time that last lap. Ensign Ewart under pressure from the medium-cladded Shiren. Ensign's tyres are chewed into a little bit, but not enough to concern himself like that, I would have thought. But Shiren, his tyres have suddenly come to life. Lap 10 of 39, and Shiren, he stayed with it. I said I would have given up on those tyres and changed them. Shiren's stuck with them, and now he's starting to fight the medium tyre, the soft tyre guys, because Basil was pushing him, and now Shiren is starting to hassle the Big Dan. Kuykart as well, looking like he's starting to get a bit feisty on those medium tyres. Madalinsky still 6 seconds, nearly 7 seconds adrift of Kuykart as Mrs. Guesty tries to catch up with Madalinsky. Her tyres are in a lot better state. No, maybe not. And Pat chasing them down in 11th. The halves already pitted. He's got rid of the medium tyres. He's onto the softs, and now he's got a big job to do He's gone for a huge undercut there. Matt Psycho, oh, nearly side by side with Matt Psycho as they come through the wiggly bits and up towards the hairpin. And this battle is absolutely cracker-lacking. And Haza giving it all he's got against the Psycho. And Matt Psycho trying to make that Peugeot as wide as he possibly can to keep the flying fin behind him. And I said about doing this for 39 laps, but so far Matt Psycho has done just that. Haza goes for it late on the brakes, and he has to give way to Matt Psycho. And Matt Psycho, he's going to take a second gap there. Could break the toe a bit. Could break the toe slightly. Ooh, Matt Psycho and Haza. What a battle. Then we've got Snorlax. He's pretty much on his own. He's pulled another second or so out of the Alien, but Homesick Alien might be nursing his tyres. He might be just driving to a Delta and trying to look after those tyres for as long as possible. He also has to use a medium set of tyres. So far, everyone in the top four have to use a set of medium tyres or hards, but they have to use a second compound. And I think they were hoping rain was going to come, and their second compound was going to be an intermediate tyre or a wet tyre. But the sun is fully out now. The skies are pretty much looking blue all the way around. And I declare this, well, it's dark over there, but who knows? Where's the wind blowing? It might blow on still, blow on us. But so far it's looking like a dry race. Homesick Alien looking after his tyres. He's 10 seconds behind Snorlax, but Snorlax, he is absolutely murdering his soft tyres. Ensign Ewart, he's got his hands full. He's halfway through his tyre life. He's in the 28s now, and Sharen's been doing 28s on the mediums, and it looks like the mediums have caught up to the softs. And Sharen's starting to apply a bit of pressure to the Mazda, and who still hasn't run the medium tyres. So Sharen, he'll be putting softs on, and Ensign will be putting mediums on. So at this point, if you're in Ensign Ewart's position, it's not looking too good with the battle with Sharen. Bazza, though, he likes it. They're battling each other, keeps him in it. And close to Koikarp, 5.3 seconds. I'm sure he's pulled some back. No, 29 last time around. 27.2 there for Koikarp, though. That's good. 28.0 for Bazza. Sharen at 28.0. Ensign Ewart at 28.0. So Koikarp, some 7. Oh no, it's a 29.3. I thought he'd done a 27.3 there. So Koi, it looks like those mediums are starting to get hard. Where I did find in the Formula GPs that when the mediums were only about halfway worn, they were pretty useless. You couldn't run them like softs. You can run them all the way till they're fully red. Those mediums were useless as soon as they were half worn. Mrs. Guesty under pressure? No, she's got past someone, hasn't she? Someone disappeared there. I'm just not sure. Mrs. Guesty caught Madalinsky up. That was behind Mrs. Guesty. Yeah, it must be Madalinsky. 31.3. She was, wasn't she? A 30.2 from Mrs. Guesty. So Mrs. Guesty, looks like Madalinsky making a small mistake there, and giving Mrs. Guesty the opportunity to get up and into 9th place. So Matt Psycho still holding the lead here. Ensign Ewart's made the pit stop, and we'll see if there's a good undercut here. If no one else comes in with him, see where he ends up. And he has to put medium tyre on. Lap 14, they're about halfway through their fuel tank. So they'll need to take on... No, if he takes on full fuel, that still won't be enough to get to the end, I would have thought. It'll get him another 14 laps, won't it? No. Yeah, but he'll have 14 already. Yeah, there. My maths is not great. It's tight. It's tight. Obviously, Ensign fancies it. And it looks like they've come across the halves now. And Matt Psycho maintaining about 9/10 ahead of Haza. Lap 14 of 39. Snorlax, 8 seconds he's lost to the Peugeots. And his tyres really starting to hurt him now. Homesick Alien, who's been looking after his tyres, lovely. And we were wondering why, if that was why he was doing a slower pace. And now he's starting to push on to the tyres and take this car up to the rear of Snorlax. Shiren on the medium tyres without Ensign Ewart, with Ensign Ewart's pit stop. He's putting himself up into 5th. And he's running well on the medium tyres at the moment. It's working well for him. The Baz, 3.4. He's got a bit of life. No, he's come in. The Baz has come in. He's covering just in case there is an undercut there from Ensign Ewart. But Ensign's gone on to the mediums. And he's not filled up, so he is coming back in. I think he is coming back into the pits. Pat's come in. Madalinsky stayed out and Mrs. Guesty stayed out. And they've got themselves ahead of the Baz. It's Ensign Ewart versus Baz. Ensign was ahead of the Baz. And the Baz still in the pits as Ensign Ewart comes down the pit lane. No, Baz is out. Baz is out. Baz is out, but Baz has barely put any fuel in, and he's gone softs again. He's gone softs again, and Ensign Ewart's gone mediums and topped up with fuel. So Baz now is just going to run and hide from Ensign and have that battle later when Baz has to run the medium tyre. Pat's back out. He's on the soft tyre. He doesn't have to run the mediums. He's already done it. And the halves hasn't managed to catch up with the pit stop guys. He's had good lap times, so that's bizarre. I thought he'd be right there with them. Oh, he's starting to catch up. Pat now is dropping 20 to 23 seconds. So we'll see. Matt Psycho, meanwhile, and his tyres are starting to hurt. They must be starting to hurt, surely. And Haas's front tyres are in better condition, but he seems to be using his rear left tyre more than Matt's. No, Matt Psycho's using it equally. It's just he's using his front ones as well. And Haza really is, I think he's got a bit of a grip advantage at the moment. And we're nowhere near halfway of this race yet. So it's not even a good opportunity to make a pit stop. He's going to want to stay out there longer, especially as they've got to use medium tyres, remember, at some point. We've had a couple of pit stops. Snorlax didn't pit, and his tyres are proper chewed up. But Homesick Alien doesn't seem to be closing in too rapidly. So I imagine Snorlax not too concerned. Again, these guys have got to run the medium tyre, or the hard tyre. They've got to run another compound. Shiren's got that compound out the way early doors. He's done it in the first part of the race, and he's held his own well. He's 5th place, 11 seconds behind the Alien, and the Alien's still got to put the medium tyre on. And Koikarp also running that medium tyre way into the race. And Shiren and Koikarp could be looking good. Mrs. Guesty up into 7th. She's not made a pit stop yet. No, there's not that many haven't made pit stops. So 7th place for Mrs. Guesty ahead of Madalinsky. Madalinsky, we saw, was holding his own ahead of Mrs. Guesty for a very long time, but it looks like one small mistake has changed their positions over. And Mrs. Guesty absolutely solid. Look at the lap times. Apart from lap 12, they are all in the 28s. They're cracking stuff. Tyre wear now, though, 29s. Madalinsky, 28.7, though. Madalinsky's got something left. A little bit more tyre than Mrs. Guesty, and Madalinsky might try and close that up before the pit stops happen. And here we go then, and there's Bazza, 3 seconds behind. Madalinsky back in, stepping out, fresh tyres, half a tank of fuel, and Bazza is away. Ensign Ewart went onto the medium tyre. What have I done? He went onto the medium tyre. He's 18 seconds ahead of Pat. Pat lost a lot of time somewhere out there. And the halves trying to close in on Pat, and he has done. He's closing in every lap. So the battle up ahead, Matt Psycho, it's getting gloomy again. It's getting gloomy. My words. The guys, they won't want to make a pit stop. Well, Snorlax has, so maybe the radars they've got, the information they've got is just gloomy, that's all. And still no rain. I mean, it's not like I'm hoping for rain, it's the unanswered question that's hanging in the air. Homesick Alien then up into third place. He's looked after his tyres very nicely. And Shiren on those mediums now up into fourth place. Koikarp's taken his car in. He's had enough of his mediums. Inters for Snorlax. Inters. There is no rain though. Is there rain? Did I see some plumage? I think that was tight. No, I can hear the rain. Snorlax has made a great move there. What's Koikarp doing? Koikarp, he pitted early enough. Everyone's coming after him. Bazza's back in. My good golly gosh. And Ensign stayed out. Mrs. Guesty stayed out. Snorlax intermediates. Everyone ahead of him. How are they going to be driving? I mean, it's falling quite heavy. It's already moved up to that first bar. Matt Psycho's gone in. And Haza stayed out. Haza taking a gamble. In the wet. This has thrown the cat amongst the pigeons. I tell you. Hey, wake up. Anyone out there? Haza stays out in a damp condition on the soft tyre. Matt Psycho pitted. How long does this last for, this shower? Shiren has stayed out on the mediums. Will he stay out again? I mean, there's clear skies up there as well. It's a tough one. Snorlax already on to the intermediate tyre straight away. As soon as the rain fell, Mrs. Guesty is up into sixth place with all the pit stops happening around her. Matt Psycho's gone out on the inters, so he feels this rain might be here to hang around. And Shiren still continuing on. Snorlax now up into fourth with his intermediate tyres, and Homesick Alien has also opted for the intermediate tyre. Mrs. Guesty has got Ensenua on the racing mediums really close by, but it's looking very slick out there. It's looking very slippy indeed. And Mrs. Guesty a 41, is that true? Yeah, and a 35 for Ensenua, so they're really having to creep around. Madalinsky 22 seconds behind Ensenua on the intermediate tyre. Pat's on the racing soft. He's only just pitted himself, and he's staying with that tyre. He's hoping this is just a small shower and it'll be out the way. Koikarp in 10th. He's gone to the intermediate tyre. Bazza pitted pretty early. I'm surprised he didn't get the jump on Koi. He's on intermediates, and he's topped up as well all the way till the end. He's hoping this rain's going to be. And Harv Meister is bringing it in now. He's going to put a set of inters on, I suppose. So 29 seconds, Haas is in the lead. Matt Psycho's out there. It's still raining. It is still raining. The wet weather indicator says they should be on intermediates. Intermediates just about is the right tyre. And who's that? Who's behind? That's the Baz on a set of inters. He's staying with Haza. Shiren's pitted. Shiren has pitted. 39s they were doing, or 37 for Haza on the dries. Who's been out? Snorlax. 33 for Snorlax. It was an out lap though, but a 33 versus the 37. So at the moment the inters could be, it's raining even heavier now, the inters could be 5 seconds a lap faster, and we will see, because it's 27.8 seconds difference between Haza. It was 29, wasn't it? So he's already pulled 2 seconds in on the Haas. The Haas is going to have to pit at the end of this. He's going to be losing too much time on Matt Psycho. And Matt Psycho may have pulled off a blinder, but it's getting wetter. Maybe that's what Haza's waiting for, to see how wet. He's gone past the pit lane again. He is a crazy finishman. He is a crazy finishman. And there we go. There's Bazza easily getting by on the inters. And I think Haza's gambling that the wet weather's going to pass away, but it doesn't look like it's going to. 25 seconds now between Matt Psycho. Homesick Alien is moved back up into third ahead of Snorlax somehow, but Snorlax is closing the gap on the Alien. And now it's where it's all bets are out. All bets are out. This is anyone's game from now on. Ensign Newark crawling around on a set of racing mediums, being caught by a bunch. No, Shiren put softs on by choice. That's crazy. So, oh, look at him trying to keep the car in line, and there you go. Because it was crazy. You should have put the inters on. So the Russian sensation absolutely throwing a blinder away, stayed out on the mediums for so long, and he obviously thinks that the track's going to dry up. The windshield wipers have stopped on Haas's car, so we have assumed it's, look at that, 4.2 seconds. That's ridiculous. That's a pit stop. He's pulled back. So even if he does have to go in again to put mediums on, well, he won't have to put mediums on now. He's used 2 compounds. Whereas Haase, this is, oh, look at this. And even if Matt Psycho does have to pit, he can put softs back on because he's used a second compound. Haase hasn't used a second compound. He's going to have to put mediums on, I believe, if I'm correct in my understanding. Homesick Alien in third ahead of the Lexus of Snorlax. Koikap, he went to the intermediates and he's doing fine in fifth with Madalinsky sitting in sixth. Haase's gone in. Haase's gone in for what though? Because it looks like it stopped raining. And what's Masako going to do? He's going to be eyes on stalks. He's going to be trying to see what tyre Haase puts on next. That's not for fuel or anything, so maybe it's just because Matt Psycho got by and he just thought, well, maybe the Inters do look like the better tyre. But he may lose a spot. He has lost a spot to Snorlax and Homesick Alien as well. So Haase, he's gone another set of softs. Surely not. No, he's gone for the mediums. Did he not hear the tale of Shiren? And Shiren going for the soft tyre. I mean, it's getting drier, but it's still not dry enough for a dry tyre, I don't think. And look at the time that Shiren's losing out there. He's again around. I'm so sorry, Shiren. You did this to yourself. There's a Radiohead song called Just. It's just for you. You do it to yourself. You do. That's what really hurts. So Matt Psycho absolutely plunging into the lead on his Inters, but it does look like it's stopped raining. The track does look like it's drying. These guys are all going to have to pit again. Not Haase, he's on the correct tyre. But Matt Psycho can pit and put softs back on. I'm pretty sure, if my interpretation of everything is correct. Mrs. Guesty, did Mrs. Guesty pit in the end? I see her just behind Haase there in 11th. Oh, she pitted for Inters as well. Ended up behind the halves. The halves come into this nicely, hasn't he? He's only 3 seconds behind Shiren. Hey, halves, cracking little race, mate. You got right back into it. And then Ensign 19 seconds. He stuck it out there with those dry tyres. The Bazzers, though, he's pulled out 10 seconds on him. So, oh, this race is upside down, topsy-turvy, inside out, and no one knows how it's going to go. The track is drying. It's definitely drying. The sun is looking like it's back out again, which is going to make it dry even quicker. So, Matt Psycho, you've got to make a decision, bud. You can't wait because, ooh, it's a yellow flag ahead of the Alien. That's probably Shiren again. Sorry, Shiren. There's no need. Right. It does look like it was Shiren again. Oh, Shiren. It hasn't gone how Shiren wanted it to go, did it? And that's halves up ahead of Shiren as well. Mrs. Guesty not, though. She pitted again for dry tyres. No? So, I wouldn't want to be in Matt Psycho's shoes right now trying to make a decision. He's gone past the pit lane. He's staying with it. 23... Lap 23, he's just about to start lap 24. Oh, that's like 15 laps still. 15 or 16 laps still to go. You could try and run the Inters, but how quick are they going to catch you? And it's only one person. At the moment, he's not doing the lap times that I can see with weight, and the wet, it's still damp out there. It's still damp enough for the medium tyres not to work. And remember, those racing mediums really were slow. Oh look, there's a drying line for sure, and Haase may be a hero here, staying out on those dry tyres. He may have made the perfect call. We're not sure. Matt Psycho is 39 seconds. Come on, Matt, you got to come in. There's no doubt you're 39 seconds. That is what, just about a pit stop? And it's just getting drier. It's just getting drier. I can't see how, and you can get soft tyres on, so you've still got to fight for it. You've still got a bit of fight. It's very wet on the outside, though. He does make a good point. Every time he puts his wheel on one of those curbs, it kicks up a lot of water. Oh my word. Homesick Alien has been caught by Snorlax. Snorlax enjoying the drying conditions. And Homesick's trying to kick up the water on the curbs, keep his tyres cool. And Snorlax, I think Homesick wants to drive to the end with these tyres as well, trying to keep them cool and trying not to melt them. And Snorlax going for a move on the Alien. They're side by side, coming up to one of the riskiest places in the world, and Snorlax thinks better of that one and lets the Alien go first. Homesick Alien looks like he's going to come into the pits. He is. He's going for dry tyres. Snorlax going past him, thinking, is that the right decision? No one can make the... Well, I say no one can make the call. Homesick's made the call. Haase, 21. He did a 36.5 last time out, 32. The intermediate's still slightly faster, but the track is drying so quickly. You don't want to be stuck out there on a very dry track on intermediates, I really think. Now Homesick's got to be very careful coming out of the pit lane. It's very wet. No cars there. Oh, there he goes. He's managed to get it though. Well done. Well done. But he's got Haase. Haase's right on his... But Haase nearly lost it as well. So Homesick Alien jumps Haase. So I said Haase's gone for the perfect strategy there, but possibly not. Those that went on to Inters are getting out, and that will fill Matt Psycho's heart full of hope. Surely, knowing that Homesick Alien's got himself out of the pit lane ahead of Haase, and he's gone softs as well because he's used the intermediate tyre. That's classed as a second compound. And Snorlax then continuing on the Inters, like Matt Psycho again. Another lap for Matt Psycho. Further down, Koikar stays out in 5th. Madalinsky, he's on the intermediates. He's in 6th, 3.6 seconds behind Koi. The Bazzers on intermediates, 7.4. Now we saw Ensign Hewitt staying on the medium tyre, and he's still struggling with the lap times though, isn't he? A 34.3 last time around, with Bazza doing a 34.1, so it's close between the crossover between dries and wet Inters. The halves, he's on a set of intermediates. He's 11 seconds behind Ensign. He did a 33.8. Shiren is on the racing softs, and now the track's starting to come to Shiren, but it's 34. It's been a big fight for him out there, and I think him and Haase probably and Ensign have lost out, not coming on to the Inters, in my humble opinion. Mrs. Guesty on the Inters there ahead of Pat, who's now on the softs. So did Pat just stay on the softs? I can't remember, So Mrs. Guesty at 34.3 last time out, Pat at 36.7. So the softs still not quite ready yet. Matt Psycho tense stuff. Lap 26 of 39. We've had a drizzle mid-race. We've got a field spread from dry tyres to wet tyre, intermediate tyres, and it looks to, oh no, Haase has got by Homesick Alien. Looks like Homesick Alien had a big one there. He's lost a good amount of time to Haase, and the water meter, the level, has dropped below Inters, so we are now definitely in dry weather grounds. We're definitely dry weather. Tyre is the preferred tyre. but Matt Psycho has got 38 seconds on. It's not. We've still got 13 laps to go or so. Not 13, but 12. 13 if you count this one. So I don't think Matt Psycho is going to be able to stay out there on the inters all of that time. Don't know about fuel. Half a tank was about 14 laps, wasn't it? And yeah, so the fuel is fine. Maybe he's going to try and drive all the way on the inters. Snorlax on them inters in second as well. Haza on the medium racing tyre, dry tyre, 30.5 last time out for him. 2 seconds, and that's Matt Psycho bringing it in. Matt Psycho, this is the moment for him. And Snorlax catching up with the Harvey. Harvey on intermediate tyres as well. And what's Snorlax going to do? Oh, they're all bringing them in. Everyone, it looks like. Snorlax coming in as well. So Haza is just going to romp on by. Is he? 39 seconds behind Matt Psycho on the track. Looks like Homesick's lost even more time to Haza. He's struggling to get his tyres livened up. Koikarp, he's still on the inters. Will he pit at the end of this lap? Madalinsky also on the inters. There's some guys they're racing with have pitted. Bazza's on the inters. There is Ensenua. He's 32s now. He is faster than the Baz, I think. Koikarp does bring it in. And the Baz doing 35s on the inters, with Ensenua doing 32s. That gap's going to close quickly. So the Baz will be wanting to come into the pits. Madalinsky as well. And oh no, it wasn't Koi we saw coming in. Who did we see coming in? Snorlax. Snorlax came in, sorry. And so did Matt Psycho. And Matt Psycho, 14 seconds better than ahead of Haza. Sorry, that should have been a massive climatic thing, and I wasn't watching. But yes. So Matt Psycho, it's paid off for him. The intermediates has definitely paid off for him, and he stayed way ahead of Haza, and Haza's on the medium tyre. The only paying, the only great saving grace, should it say, is that the soft tyre is going to be pretty mullered come the end of this race, and Haza might have a chance to come back at Matt Psycho nearer the end. He's really tucked up behind Shiren there. Shiren a lap behind nearly, and he's on the soft tyre. Snorlax, he went to the soft tyre and managed to stay ahead of the Alien. Great race for Snorlax here if he can bag a podium. But Homesick's really starting to close in. I think it takes a while to get the soft tyre up to life, and that's we could tell from Homesick losing out to Haza. But now it looks like Homesick starting to get the tyre into the bracket and getting some life in it. He's pulled in 2 seconds on. Ooh, and they're having to drive in on that dry line. They can't go wide, they can't go tight, they've got to stay on the dry line. And yeah, Homesick is really closing in on Snorlax as Snorlax tries to get his tyres up to temperature. And Haza's got himself by Shiren, but Shiren should have the pace. Further down then, Koikarp has come in. He's put soft tyres on. Madalinsky stayed out. He stayed out on the inters. I don't know if that's the best move for him, but it'll be one we'll keep an eye on. So Madalinsky staying out on the intermediates, up to 5th at the moment. So Koi only losing 1 spot there. Looks like Baz has pitted as well. But Koi coming in, putting the soft tyre on, and yeah, it looks like the soft tyre takes a while to get up to action. And Ensenua then, meanwhile, he stayed out on the dries, and he's trying to close in on Koikarp there. And Bazza has pitted to put the softs on, and now he's got to go through the pain of getting them up to life as Shiren follows Haza. He's saying, well, I may as well. Haza's doing a good pace. He probably thinks I can just sit in Haza's tail, and as he catches cars up and they blue flag him, Shiren can creep on through. That's a great strategy. I'd stick with that. Scary Rambo, Harvey, he's back on the racing soft tyre. he's got to get his tyres up to life. It looks like a struggle in the Beamer. Mrs. Guesty has stayed out on the inters, interesting, and Pat's on the softs. We thought Pat was going to close in, but it looks like he's struggling to get the tyres up to life, and maybe that's why Mrs. Guesty is waiting until it's proper bone dry before she's putting those softs on, because it looks like that Mitsubishi struggles. Matt Psycho 15 seconds ahead of Haza, and Haza 29.0 last time out. Madalinsky does come in for the to put the dry tyres on. Let's see where that puts him. Oh, he's back out again already. 7th place, ahead of the Baz. There's the Baz, and he's gone on to the medium tyre. You don't need to do that. You've used intermediate tyres, but hey, maybe he's put himself in jeopardy there. I think he's just covering himself for the 2 compounds, but I don't think there was need to, because he's used the inters, which classes as a second compound. That's why the rules are worded so cleverly. Matt Psycho 14.9 seconds ahead of Haza. I don't think Haza can catch him. 28.1 from Haza now, but Matt Psycho 27.6, and he's romping all the way to the end. And Madalinsky is going to play the game of, let's see how close I can stay with the Peugeot, like Shiren is. But Shiren's Peugeot's got medium tyres on, which makes it slightly easier. Snorlax then, what an absolute blinder if he can land this one. A podium position for Snorlax, and he's well deserved it. He's had some cracking races. Homesick Alien though, always a force to be reckoned with, and he'll be aiming for that podium. And Snorlax will be under pressure, I imagine, before the end of the race. Koikarp, absolute cracker for Koikarp. He got 4th in the sprint, and he's sitting on a 5th place at the moment. He does have Ensenua closing in, but Ensenua, Big Dan, is on the medium tyre, and he's not going to have the pace that Koikarp has when Koikarp gets those tyres livened up and rock and rolling. Madalinsky in 7th, great position for Madalinsky, but he's on the medium tyres, and he's got a Baz closing in rather swiftly, so Madalinsky could be in trouble with that 7th. Didn't need to use the medium tyre, could have got away with the soft, and with only 8 laps to go, they would have stayed in there. So the Baz then in 8th, chasing down Madalinsky. He's on the soft tyre. He's 8 seconds ahead of Shiren. He's got great pace as Shiren, but he stayed out. Well, he stayed out on the mediums greatly. Did that fantastically, but then put the soft tyres on and just asked for too much. The soft tyres are pretty rubbish, in all fairness, in the first lap. They do take a while to sort of warm up to things, so trying to use soft tyres in the rain is a crazy thing. The halves, giving it some sideways BMW. He's going to really hate that BMW by the end of the season, if not already. But he's got a good buffer between himself and Pat, who is now ahead of Mrs. Guesty. She has come in to put the medium tyres on now. Mrs. Guesty, no, the tyres aren't going to wear that quickly. So Mrs. Guesty, we're so used to seeing her finishing in 8ths and 9ths, 7ths. So Mrs. Guesty at the back of the field is a strange thing to see. But she did stay on the intermediates for quite a while. Matt Psycho closing in, giving her the blue flags, 14 seconds ahead of Haza. And Matt Psycho at the moment, he could just ease off. He's not racing anyone really. He's just counting out the lap times. Is that a double win from no, Haza won the sprint, didn't he? So yeah, one each, one a pair between these. Oh, and I think Mrs. Guesty intentionally going off out of Matt Psycho's way. Haza tried something. He stayed out on the dry tyres and did a super job. It seems like it's when they got the new tyres on, they just would not work in the wet conditions. So lost a lot of time. He lost ground to Snorlax and Homesick Alien, I believe, but has managed to get by both of those guys. And even though he's on the medium tyre, 27.4 he's managing on the medium tyre is Haza. Snorlax 28.0 on his soft tyre, and Homesick is managing a 27.2. He is closing in on Snorlax, but they're running out of laps. There's 6 laps left, and he's only really pulled in half a second. So Snorlax probably not allowing the pressure, and he's just done a 27.3. Homesick 27.3 as well, so Snorlax covering him off. Haza 27.6 on a set of mediums, it's ridiculous, and a 27.2 for Matt Psycho. Quick up 28.0, that's his fastest lap of the race so far. He's 45 seconds behind 4th place, but he's good 11 seconds ahead of Enseneur, who's now getting the blue flags from the unstoppable Matt Psycho. Fantastic stuff. So Ensign moving out of his way. He's got 13 seconds on the Baz, but the Baz is in trouble. Oh no, I think the Baz has just made the move on Madalinsky, who put the medium tyres on. And he might be even more trouble because Sharen's now up to pace with a 27.4. And Madalinsky with the Baz. Oh, you didn't need to put the medium tyres on, but 7th place was there for the picking. Gutted for you. Someone's getting a blue flag. Oh, it's that bloody Peugeot's caught up with these guys. No, that's Haza in second. But it's not going to stop the racing, and Madalinsky nearly missing his braking altogether. Nearly took the Baz with him, but did not. And you're best off letting that Peugeot through. It's making it difficult for the Peugeot. Come on, you're not racing the Peugeot. He's got confused, didn't he? I bet he thought, because he's got Sharen close behind him. He probably thought that was Sharen coming through, but no. It was Haza. And now Madalinsky has got Sharen coming through. And Sharen makes short work of it. Oh no, is Madalinsky... No, he's still racing. I thought he'd let Sharen through. It looked like Sharen come through really quickly. But Sharen on the softs, Madalinsky on the medium tyre. It was pretty inevitable as the track warms up. And those tyres start getting hotter and hotter. The Baz then, 2 seconds on Sharen. Sharen is up for it. And 10 seconds behind Enseneur. Enseneur still 31.4 last time around. What's he going to manage this time? I don't want to start being a worry wart about fuel, but is that enough fuel to get to the end? 29.9 from Enseneur. The Bazza, he's tucked up behind Haza at the minute. He's got Sharen right with him as well. Sharen is looking for a fight here with the Belgian Bullets. And they're both trying to stay behind Haza. And Sharen having a look up the inside. My good golly gosh, Haza has found himself lapping a bunch of racing cars here. And that is always a nightmare. You don't want to be involved in the tussles. And I think Sharen give Bazza a bit of a knock up the bomb ski. And why are you slowing right down, Baz? Where is Sharen? Sharen's continued on. Madalinsky's got back up into his 7th place, and I think the Baz is letting all the lap cars. That's why he stopped. And he's got Lexus behind him as well. Oh, he doesn't want to do that with the leaders, does he? And the Lexus battling with Homesick Alien at the moment. So the Baz trying to stay out of the battle, but it's hard to pull off the line, remember, it's still wet. It's still wet, so these lap cars don't really want to be pulling off of the racing line. And there you see the Alien closing in on the Baz. And Snorlax fighting, 2.4 seconds, and Snorlax could do without the traffic, and he could do without getting off the racing line where it's wet. And this just isn't the flow that he wanted. Homesick Alien already got past the Baz. Oh no, he's not. He's not. That's all right. Snorlax still got a little space there. I ain't got favourites or anything. It's just nice Snorlax. I don't think he's had a podium yet. He's been there every race, but something always goes wrong, which he still could. Matt Psycho, 14 seconds in the lead. I bet he wouldn't have believed you if you told him before this race he was going to be 14 seconds ahead of Haza on lap 37 of 39. He'd say, get away with you. But he is. How great is that? Snorlax in a podium position, but Homesick Alien is rushing his way to take that one away from him. They're not going to catch Haza, but I would imagine they're going faster. No, Haza's done a 26.5 on a set of medium tyres. That is so baffling. 28.0 for Snorlax with Homesick Alien in pursuit. Then we have Koikar. He's gone faster at 27.1. And Ensneur is miles behind him now. Ensneur is worried more of Madalinsky. Madalinsky getting a lap on him. Snorlax still trying to lap cars. My good golly gosh. What a nightmare for these leaders. And Shiren is fancying Madalinsky's spot there. Snorlax still not getting by. He has now, I think. Madalinsky's lifted, don't hit him. And the two Lexuses is working lovely together there. And Madalinsky not wanting to lose that 7th spot to a very eager Russian sensation. But Madalinsky goes a little wide there. He tries to come back on the track. And I think the move's done. Shiren's up. Shiren is up and into 7th place. And Shiren, he's got 15 seconds to try and find on Ensneur. I don't think there's that there is capable of it. But Madalinsky now, he's got a Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien still hunting for this podium position, remember. But with all this traffic in the way, it's hard to get a flow. Ooh, Homesick Alien's fuel started flashing. Is that fine? 2 more laps to go? Yeah, I imagine that's fine. Yeah, there's a few of them flashing now. So that's Matt Psycho. He started the final lap. He's just done his fastest lap at 25.748. He's 15.7 seconds ahead of Haza. Haza may have lifted off a little bit for fuel. I don't know. He did 26.4, so he hasn't lifted off at all. Snorlax still in that 3rd place, 3 seconds on the Alien at the moment. And it's still tense, you know. Homesick Alien still got Shiren to clear. And there's Mrs. Guesty getting right out of the way of this battle. And my God, Snorlax, Homesick Alien, 3 seconds between them. Koikar looks good for 5th place. Ensneur looks good for 6th. Shiren looking good for 8th with 7th, sorry. Madalinsky in 8th, only 3.7 seconds ahead of the Baz. And I think Madalinsky and the Baz, didn't they have a little bang earlier in the race? So Matt Psycho coming up towards the chicane. There's so many lapped cars. We're not going to see everyone cross the line. I'm so sorry, but that's just the way it can be sometimes. But we will see Matt Psycho cross the line. And we'll have a brief look. So Matt Psycho takes the win in the feature. Great drive from Matt Psycho. Called all the strategies correct at the right time. Pat in 11th comes across the line. And then there's someone ahead of him. No, that was Pat. So Haza crossing the line in 2nd place. With Snorlax grabbing a fine podium. Is it? Who's that with him? That's Shiren. Snorlax grabbing a podium. Take a boo, my son. Ensneur and Shiren finishing 6th and 7th. Homesick Alien finishing in 4th. Who else? Bazza got ahead of halves, did he? I think he was already ahead of halves, sorry. So Bazza gets 9th behind Madalinsky. And the halves still running. Pat got 11th. Mrs. Guesty got 12th. And it's between the Alien, no, Koikar. No, it's going to be the halves first. In 10th. My Lord, what a race. That was something else, wasn't it? And there we go then. The halves finishing in 10th. And Koikar, it's a great set of races for Koikar. 4th and 5th. good pit stop. I mean, good points. So in the chat, Little's GP saying well done, Matt. Little's GP saying goat. Matt Psycho saying love Nerb GP. Matt Psycho saying my fave track by miles. That's not what you said earlier. That means you've made me look like a fibber. There you go. We get to see the back of Matt now. What a hiney. Great drive for Matt Psycho there. Let's have a look at those results then. And we've got Matt Psycho taking the win, with Haza coming home in second. Haza gets the fastest lap, 25.365. Then we've got Snorlax on the podium. Great stuff from Snorlax. Look, his luck might be changing. You never know. And then in fourth place, we have Homesick Alien. And after Homesick Alien, we have Koi Carp. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once, if you hadn't guessed. Koi Carp in fifth. In sixth, we've got Ensign Ewart. I can't find my sheet of names. I'll give up. So where was I? Sixth for Ensign Ewart. Seventh for Sharon. Eighth for Madalinsky. Good points for Madalinsky there. Bazza in ninth. The halves came home in 10th. Pat in 11th. And Mrs. Guesty in 12th. Looks like those Mitsubishis did not like the changeable conditions. Oh, wow. There's loads of Little's GP saying great stream too. Cheers. Cheers, bud. Mama Sykes saying that was brilliant, Matthew. Super racing, guys. Thanks, Thingy. Awesome. It's my pleasure. And the Daz saying great racing. Cheers, Daz. And me claiming great racing. They did some amazing racing. You're right. It was fantastic. While you're here, tune in next Friday. We're going crazy at Nürburgring GP. We're going to do 60 minutes of qualifying. So the following Friday after that, we are then going to race that track for 2.5 hours in a bunch of BMW M4s and BMW M6s. So don't miss out on that action. I think that's everything I've got to tell you. I wish your broadcaster and your commentator, Toby Larone, thank you for joining us here at the Virtual Racers Club. Take care of each other. Peace and love. Peace and love.